Matthew, what are we doing now?
So right now,
part two, right?
Part two, each group is presenting their idea that they've been working on in the form of a really short pitch. So we're going to hear 4 unique ideas, and we're going to give some feedback, and then we're going to clap.
Awesome.
Alrighty, go for it.
So, imagine a world powered by cats, where global warming is solved through cat poop-powered gardens. Not only are these cat poop-powered gardens, but we're also helping people refugees transitioning to new places like the United States or Germany or wherever to take care of these cats and also tend the garden. And along with this, there is a cat share program which is funded by many various entities that also help to facilitate housing for people with their transitional jobs and also housing for cats that are taken out of shelters and given homes.
You go ahead. We're doing just
Is there anything I'm missing?
No, actually. We can go into the impact model, which when we have the cat's feces is creating energy, and with the transition of the people, we have companionship. And then with the gardens, we have a rejuvenation and a synergy, because we're going to develop these gardens within the seasons of the globe, and they're going to transition into the next season and the next season. So you're going to have a perpetual growth of fertilization and fruits and vegetables, and that's going to take off, and then you'll come back full circle with a full global unity.
And the gardens will also help to feed the refugees transitioning into jobs, and also a portion of that will be sold to mass market and also sustainable business model.
Awesome. Thank you. Great. We'll move to go into the third round, too, which was a kind of complex one. I think you guys did a really great job telling that story and introducing it. It feels like you've done this before, some kind of pitching before, right? You guys felt very comfortable up there, which was really good. I think if anything, I would say bring in, you were mentioning, this could also be sold to mass market or mass consumer. I think kind of bringing that in a little bit earlier, because I totally got the impact part. It was the revenue part that I feel like you got to it eventually, but maybe that could be a little bit sooner, and then it would be really balanced. Yeah.
Well, it was part of the advertising as well.
Right.
Advertisers kind of like advertise a cat. Like, this cat
Yeah.
is brought to you by Google.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Just
The
a cat
Google
share
tag.
program.
Yeah, I love it. That was great. Did anybody else do round 3 with their idea? No? Okay, cool. Then let's go with you guys. And you guys went with round 2, right?
Yes.
Cool. Who else did round 2? And then you guys did round 1?
We did 3, actually.
Oh, you did 3 also? Okay, cool.
Can you speak up so we can hear it?
Okay. So our product company is called Geezers on the Go, and we make stylish medical grade products for elderly people to take with when they travel. So there's like this magic suitcase compartment which you can sit on. You can attach your cane to it, like your oxygen tank, and
the place for your catheter to be empty.
And the impact model it's like a Make-A-Wish Foundation, but for the elderly. So when they're dying and they're sick and they have one last wish, our employees will go on the trip with the elderly, and we'll like plan out and act like tour guides with them.
I guess I could talk about our revenue model. We have 2 revenue models. One is the cross subsidy, so for products like the oxygen tank, where we give the tank for free, but we charge for the oxygen, so they have to continuously pay for the oxygen. And our pay what you want model is obviously will be a sliding scale for products for people, and particularly we want to work with people in homes that can't afford to take these vacations or can't afford the products, so we'll have a sliding scale of pay what you want as well. Did you miss anything? Did you miss anything?
No, did great.
That was it.
Thank
Users
you
on the
very
go. Good
Yeah.
job. Nice.
Awesome. That was great. Yeah, good balance of impact and revenue. Talking a bit about what you want to do. I would say, if anything, projecting out into the future, right? What would the world look like if this thing succeeded? That could be another cool layer to add to this. Really thinking far out. Yeah, that was really great. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so you guys also had round 3. Cool.
We got a little ambitious. So we are happy to present a franchise model called the Healing Kitty Cafe and Gardening Club.
All right. Very niche.
Very niche. So this is going to be a very beautiful, kind of like sprawling community place is the idea, where you can go, and in the cafe part, of course it's plant-based cafe, and there's going to be kitty cats roaming around that you can, relax and get a little healing, emotional healing, mental healing by chilling out with the kitty cats, who are, we partner with local shelters so that they're all available for adoption. And actually this little model exists currently, kitty cafes. So you can actually adopt the cats, and then we obviously get a cut of those licensing fees for the kitty cat adoptions. And then on the flip side, we also have the gardening club. And so we have the inside cafe. There'll be some tables and such outside as well. We have these like beautiful gardens. And part of it is going to be, we're talking about selling flowers. So part of it will be flowers. And we'll also have those flowers for sale in the little gift shop that we'll also have. And then there's going to be actual gardens. And so the produce that we get from the gardens are used, all organic and everything are used in the cafe. But then also you are able to sign up for classes. So that goes in for gardening classes. So that goes into the membership models, or the revenue models.
Right, so we make money through a membership model. You need to belong to get to be part of this restaurant and part of the gardening classes and all of that. Plus, there's a licensing model. This is a franchise where we're going to set this up and let other people run these. And we, as you said, we partner with the animal shelters, but we also partner with the cities who have big spaces, big parking lots that need to be converted into green, because we're working on global warming, and so the more stuff that we can get growing and converting the carbon dioxide back into oxygen, the better the planet's going to be. So that's our impact and our revenue plan.
Very cool. Thanks, guys. Great. What's always fun when you see, one group that did round 3 and another group that did round 3, you're dealing with the same topics but using different models, and how those ideas differ. You could almost imagine what would it look like if you guys partnered at this point now and went through another round, right? So that was really cool. Thank you. So then, last but not least, did you guys go with round 2?
We went with round 2.
All right, cool.
Okay, and we are here to seek round 1 financing from all of you to help us rocket into outer space in about 10-15 years' time. And this is the opportunity of a lifetime that none of you are going to want to give up, because this is the project that you will all know and forever remember as Space Ajax. This project is going to be astrotourism in the finest caliber. What we're going to see in the very near future, in about 10 to 15 years' time, is that each one of you will have the opportunity to step on board a rocket of the kind that you've never seen before. Luxurious, it's going to be in twin double beds, so you're going to have all the amenities that you want. Champagne glasses in the morning, and when you get off, you will be on Mars. Place previously unexplored. You will have the opportunity to experience it before anybody else. Completely weightless, no matter what your age, you are going to be on Mars and enjoying the fineries, the entertainment, and all the joys of the world with specially chosen, selected others. So we are going to select one each: scientists, artists, professionals, and you will be able to have unique conversations with one another. Or you might choose to do something different. Your choice might be to remain on Earth, where you can choose to become one-on-one in a relationship with any one of the individuals that are there. Pick up the phone for a personal conversation on a pay-as-you-go model. Very easy, very quick and very easy, and you get a first-hand account of exactly what is going on and what is happening on Mars in that moment in time. While the wonderful people on Mars enjoy the privilege of a year being, what, about twice as long as it is on Earth? So their aging is cut in half. Now, how much better could that be? So we are sending people to Mars, and we are wanting you to help us get this up and running, because it might take a little bit of time to convince our partners, but we know that every single one of them will want to join us in this. We are already talking to several people. We're talking to Tesla. They're all excited. They just need our first round of funding, which you are going to help us out with. We're talking to telecom companies. We're talking to Verizon, AT&T, you name them. They're going to be a part of this. We're talking to Google Mars. Google Mars is the next spin-off off of Google Earth, and they are a part of this. They just need your first round of funding. You cannot say no to this opportunity. When we get to the other end, how we're going to know the impact that we're making, it's going to be relatively easy, because we'll be able to count the number of people that actually make it to Mars, thanks to all of you, the number of people that make it to Mars, the number of conversations that we have, those phone calls that we get, one-on-one conversations, the personal stories that you hear. That is part of what we will find at the other end. Our revenue model is going to come from all of this. It will be the donations, the individual donations, pay as you go for your individual phone calls, as well as from the partnerships that we're developing with all of these other companies to enjoy the benefit of being first on Mars. This is an opportunity none of us can say no to. Who wouldn't want to go to Mars in 10, 15 years? Today, this is going to be an easy offering. It's pay as you go, as much as you can, but none of you can say no. Who's with us?
All right, nice. I feel like you've also done this before, just retaining so much information. You did a good job repeating things just enough. Like, you repeated pay as you go several times, which I feel like was helpful in helping us kind of retain that info, especially in the kind of context of what you're pitching in. And it sounds like one of our live listeners offered you $500,000, so so not bad. This was great, guys. Really good range of ideas. Like I mentioned, what's fun about this, when there's a group of people and we're working with similar factors, is to see just how your individual brains differ greatly, right? And you interpret things in very different questions. Is walk through some slides around just how you might leverage this process on after today, right? So with your organization, with your startup, with where you're currently employed, whatever that might be, there's really a few opportunities. One is exploring from the ground up, which is what we did today, really. That's where you have your 12 or 20 or 6, however many it is, impact models, revenue models, and then this kind of other factors bank that we talked about. Today it was basically just things that we're interested in or passionate about, but as you can see up here, it could be maybe a list of your company's services, products, your audiences, your core competencies, whatever it might be. Those are things that can kind of help you guide that list. And then really what you do is, after you've compiled these lists, you've got to make sure that they're of equal length so that you can use dice or some other format. You can also write numbers on paper and put it in a hat. We've done that before if you don't have dice. But when it's relevant is for startups, for new programs or initiatives within existing organizations, when you're just trying to kind of think big about something new and fresh, that's something that I recommend. Another opportunity is exploring meaningful earned revenue or meaningful impact, I could say also on the flip side. What I mean by this, kind of coming back to this model, if you're a nonprofit, for example, a lot of the times you've pretty much got your impact model nailed down. But when it comes to the revenue model, that's a really common area to struggle, right? Relying on donations or grants, and you just don't know what to do. On the flip side, if you're in the private sector, maybe you already have your revenue model figured out and you're doing great, but you're feeling that kind of lack on the purpose side, that's where you can start exploring some impact models. And a tool that I like to use, it's kind of similar to a SWOT analysis, but a little bit simplified, is basically to go through the glossary, just pick a model at random. To be honest, really, you could do this with every single model just to explore your really wide range of options, and use this scenario template. So in a few sentences, just describe what is the opportunity. What if Together Network used an e-commerce model? What would that look like?
Can you figure that out for me?
Maybe. What would the pitfalls of that be? Why would it be bad for Together Network to use an e-commerce model? And then how might you test it? Well, maybe we just open up a little shop page on the website, see how it goes, right? So that's kind of a quick example. You can do that with impact models or revenue models. Just taking the time to just think about it is surprisingly really, really liberating, actually. So to do this, you would study the glossary, pick out as many models as possible, and just imagine these scenarios. If you were to use them, what would happen? It's relevant for existing organizations that maybe have that really clear mission, but don't have a really good revenue model, or the vice versa of that. And then the final opportunity here, as you guys saw with the Canvas exercise, maybe your business is already operating pretty well, but you haven't documented that. This is a really good documentation tool. Very often, those kinds of legacy documents don't exist within a business or an organization, and it's really because it's pretty daunting to produce a business plan, right? You immediately think of, oh man, it's all these numbers and diagrams and charts and whatnot, but what I've found is, honestly, these 13 questions, it's pretty much what you need, This isn't going deep into financial projections and things like that, but in terms of documenting something that maybe is working pretty well, this will really help you out. So the way that you do that is just by answering those questions. I do like to say to not overthink the answers, to see it as a draft. A lot of times a business plan is kind of perceived as this really permanent document, but honestly, you could rewrite it every week and it's okay. That's pretty natural. So it's relevant for people that maybe already have a thriving business model, or just already have been in existence for a while and really want to have clarity on that, or document it in general. So all of this information that you got today, I mentioned I use the pay what you want model. That means you can pay $0, you can pay whatever you want, and you'll be able to download our glossary with all these business models. The moment that you download it, you get on our email list too, so you'll know when we have more models that are out there. So you just go to modelsofimpact.co. You'll see that there is the original English version to download. We do have it in Spanish as well. We just released that about a month ago, which is really exciting. And then we also have an ambassador program now where you can sign up for that, and we'll approve you based on a few factors, and then you'll get access to some videos that walks you through things like what we did today too. So you can actually get certified to do this stuff if you want to run workshops like these or anything like that. That's something we've been really pushing lately, which has been really exciting as well, just getting different communities together to teach each other this and help each other out. One really last thing that I wanted to say is 3 weeks ago I did release my second book. I'm really excited about it. Fast Company wrote a really awesome review of it, so that hopefully means something. It meant something to me. And it's really about the future of social enterprise and new directions for social entrepreneurs. There's a really cool manifesto in there, a bunch of essays that I've been working on over the last 5 years. We even have a timeline of the history of social enterprise. So if you're nerdy about that like me, you'll probably like it. It's also pay what you want, but if you pay $25, you get the physical copy. We did just a limited run of those as well. So
where's it available?
That is at futureimpact.co. Yeah. So I hope you guys like that as well. My wife designed it. It looks really awesome. And with that, just wanted to say thanks for being here. And if you guys have any questions about how you might use this stuff, about social entrepreneurship, about the meaning of life, I can pretend like I know the answer to those things. but thank you. Any questions at all? Otherwise, you guys can go home and get some sleep. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Because at the very beginning, I was a little late with the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind talking a little bit about Very Nice, your agency?
Yeah,
how many
definitely.
people you have? I know you do a 50% pro bono work.
Is about 15 people. We also have a satellite office in Austin. And with Give Half, what that means is at any given moment, half of our projects are being donated for free to nonprofits. So for example, right now, if I remember right, we have about 30 projects going on. So that means about 15 of those are pro bono initiatives for nonprofits. And the way that we approach that, depending on our balance and what we're looking at with our philanthropy, those are either full-on pro bono or significantly discounted. So we do kind of a range of discounted market rate to full market rate to full pro bono. We've worked with, I think it's about 418 nonprofits at this point.
Wow.
So we've worked with a ton of organizations. We have over 450 volunteers all across the globe as well that team up with us to help us produce this work too. So yeah, that's a little bit about Very Nice. We do just about every kind of design thing you could imagine, unless it's physical. We don't do physical products or buildings. You would not want to trust me with that. But everything else we're really good at.
Cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and that's verynice.co if you want to learn more about that.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here
Yeah,
with the Together
thanks.
Network. That was really great.
Yeah, it's
Thank
great.
you.
Cool. Thanks, guys.